Aloha, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today is the day after the full moon, and I'm traveling back down to Southern Oregon from the Willamette Valley and my adventures of the ocean. And I'm thinking a lot about water today. I started my moon yesterday on the full moon, and thinking about my womb a lot and listening to the wisdom that's coming through my open cervix right now, that's releasing and shedding the past and opening me up to spaciousness to receive um, blessings of this now moment. And I'm here at this reservoir that I stumbled across in my travels of just curious, exploring a bit of Southern Oregon, and this is the Galesville Reservoir. Um, yeah, it's clearly low this time of year. It's September. It hasn't rained here in a long time, at least a month or more, and clearly this reservoir collects rainwater and snow melt and whatnot, and there's a dam that I noticed, and I'm sure that the local farmers are using this water to grow food, and to actually allow motorized boats on this reservoir. There's a bunch of jet skis out here, which is interesting, and I can smell the fuel, the exhaust from the jet skis, and I'm sure that's not good for the water. This place doesn't feel really good energetically. These jet skis out here are making a bunch of noise, and um, yeah, it feels really dead here in a lot of ways. There's a lot of dead standing trees, and yeah, the water doesn't feel good to me. I don't feel called to get into this water to swim. I was looking for a spot to swim, so I'm gonna go find running water, a creek or a river to get into today. But yeah, thinking about the state of water and why I feel so called to document the water situation this time of year in Oregon. I feel Spirit was reminding me there may be a time not too far in the future where water isn't really available very easily, and that if we don't continue to pray for the water and take good care of the water and tend to the water, we may not have it. We may not have water to grow crops, water to drink, water to feed animals, water to swim in, water to bathe in. Yeah, water is very, very precious. And I feel this time of year in particular when the water is really scarce. We're not getting rain, and it's hot, and the reservoirs are way down, and the creeks and the rivers are low, that we have the opportunity to pray for the water. There are fires happening right now. The air is really smoky. There are multiple fires in Oregon happening right now because it's so dry. And finding balance between the fire and the water. And yeah, it's important that we remember that water doesn't have to be around. It could disappear, you know. I'm not sure where it would go. It could go somewhere else, somewhere not accessible to us. And yeah, it's very precious to be able to have clean water where we're at. And yeah, it could go to other parts of the world. And then those of us who are in drought, what would we do? Where would we go? We'd have to go somewhere else. Our ancestors were largely nomadic, but we ourselves are not so much. And I think some of us are tapping back into our nomadic roots and traveling during the winter down south and coming back up north in the spring and summer. But yeah, I'm curious how folks feel about that. You know, there's so many of us living in big, large cities, and people are tied to their jobs and to their homes that they own. Can't really be nomadic in that situation. But I think the water situation might force us to be nomadic somehow. So yeah, super interesting times. I'm curious what it's like for you, where you live in the world, the water situation. But I do know that we can pray for our lives through the water, through the spirit of the water, pray with water, honor water, give back to water, protect water, clean the water, make sure that we have clean water for the land, and stop poisoning the water with fuel and exhaust and chemicals that aren't congruent with water, oil and whatnot. So yeah, I want to encourage more prayers for the water and for the rain to come. And when the water's out of balance, there can be too much water in one place and not enough water in another, and the people suffer, whether in both places, you know? They really do. So too much water is also not a good thing. Flooding and making the land uninhabitable is not a good thing. So may we be in right relationship with the waters within us, the waters outside of us, the waters of creation. You know, we're made of water. We're mostly water. So praying to yourself. And one of my beautiful elders reminded the best way to pray for the water is to drink it. You know, many of us don't drink enough water. We're dehydrated a lot of the time. We operate like that in a state of dehydration. So drink lots of water. It's good. Be thankful for all that clean water you can drink. There are many parts of the world where people have to walk miles and miles and miles and miles through heat and harsh conditions to get water for their family to drink. Yeah, we're so blessed. Those of us that have access to clean water comes right out of our faucet, right out of our homes, right out of these magical places called sinks, you know, spigots, and we have access to filtered water, to clean water for the most part here in America. And much of the world does not have clean water. Remembering my time in Mexico this last winter and how I got sick from a waterborne bacteria, and they don't have clean water there. That's a huge issue in Mexico. They have to truck it in from other places because yeah, it's just not accessible, and it's going to become more so as time goes on if we don't tend to the water. So I encourage you to do that, to find out how you can help, to donate to organizations that make that their mission, to help clean up the water and help protect the water. And yeah, it's really important that we tune in and pay attention to the water. Standing Rock was all about that, I feel like. The intention was to protect the water. My partner, my beloved Eric, was there at Standing Rock and has some really interesting things to say about his experience there. It was very political, and yeah, I feel that there are many folks out there that have a heart to tune in to water rights and protecting the water. So I encourage you to comment here to share how us as just like standard lay people that aren't involved in the water protection world per se can help. But I do know for myself that it's increased my awareness praying with the water, and that's something I learned through the Native American church, is how to pray for the water. So may this message find you well. May you feel blessed. May you be grateful and thankful for the water that you have in your life. May you pray with the water, thank Creator for the water, thank the water for your life, and enjoy and drink lots of water. Mahalo.